Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Welcome everyone to another episode of Two Men No Hope. I'm here as always, and with me is Jamie. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm back as always.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm trying to pick
it's another late
already.
recording to me and Jamie about. We're very slow at this time of the night, but it's okay. But we're here because we have one of our favourite people back. You love to hear him. We love him here. Brian's back. How you doing, man?
Hey, how we doing, guys? Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. I love doing this show.
We love having
Hopefully
you.
We have some good emails this time.
Let's hope so. The last round sucked. Nah, I can't even remember what they were.
We'll get an email now saying, "Hey, that was my email last time."
But
I can't recall that.
But how's things, man? How's the family and everything?
Good. The daughter is now 18 months and she's slowly becoming more of a person. Like, she's developing an attention span. So we'll sit there and, like, if I put a movie on, she'll, like, pay attention for a good chunk of it. She's not sitting all the way through yet, but she's working on it. She loves Coco.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I've seen Coco a bunch this week. Toy Story 2 she loves. She's okay with the first one, but the second one is her jam. She loves Jessie.
The second one was good, but I'm a classic man. You can't beat the first one.
3, but I can't watch it because I basically cry from start to finish. So in order to hide that, I just can't watch it. But I think it's like a perfect movie. It just makes me too sad to watch.
It is absolutely and that's what annoyed me when the fourth one came out, and I was like, no, you didn't need it. I was like, it was absolutely perfect, the third one, and I cried too.
You fucked everything up. You fucked everything up in 4. It's like, you had the perfect end with 3. And the first thing you do in 4, like 3 ends, and he's like, these are my toys. I need you to love them and care for them. And you're like, oh, it's so beautiful. She hands them out. 4 starts, and she's like, you're a piece of fucking garbage, Woody. And she throws him in the garbage, practically. And you're like, oh my God, why are they doing this?
Is it number 4 where it's like the weird little spoon figure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Forky, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the best character in the film, that film. I loved him.
Yeah. Easily the best thing in that movie. And they're doing a 5th one where it's like, how? Woody left. Like, he went off to, like, do whatever.
Yeah.
Milk it to death. It to death, that's what it is.
But even then, like, half the characters from the originals, they didn't even get back. So, like, the fourth one is so... It's just them avoiding bringing the normal characters back in. Absolutely fucking... I didn't mind the Buzz Lightyear movie, though, with Chris Evans. I thought that was all right.
I watched, I think, 15 minutes of it. Like, I was trying to get my daughter to sleep, so I got sick of everything she had been watching, so I put that on. And she fell asleep within 10 minutes, and I was like, all right, I'll keep watching. And then I fell asleep within 20 minutes, and we took a nap, and I was like, yeah, I'll go back one day. I didn't care enough to finish it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was quite good. It made sense, like, everyone was going about how the voice was different. But it made sense because at the beginning, it's like, this is the movie that he was watching in the first one. I was like, oh, okay, so it's not supposed to be.
What do you think about the fact that we got Mufasa coming soon? The new Mufasa
garbage.
Film? Don't understand why you would do this. Like, we know everything we need to know about Mufasa.
The backstory.
Like, he was a lion. He was a dad. He dies so Simba can become the king. Okay, like, does anybody give a fuck how Mufasa came to power? I don't think anybody on the planet was watching the last Lion King or the animated. It was like, man, I just can't get into this. How did this lion gain so much respect? He's a fucking lion. Who cares? He kicks some ass and now he's the pride. So we have to spend a 2-hour journey with him on this bullshit where we know how his story's going to end anyway? Come on.
The only people that care is Disney's fucking pockets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to be very disappointed with the box office for that.
Yeah, big time.
You know what? Disney need to do. I was talking to my girlfriend. We went and saw. We went to the cinema and they had the trailer for Snow White, and I went off onto a rant of how garbage it was. But that wasn't the point. I was like, what Disney need to do is they need to stop doing all this fucking like animation shit that they're doing, like the CGI and all that, and bring out an original hand drawn movie like the old days, and do like the songs and all the stuff. That is what I would go to fucking see, like the classic.
Yep. All their shit since basically Tangled came out and they've went to like the CGI animation, it all looks the same. Like, and like when you look at their older animated films, like you can look at like 101 Dalmatians and you can look at Little Mermaid and they look like different things.
Yeah.
Like, and now all the animated films, I feel like they kind of look the same. Like Secret Life of Pets looks just like fucking Wish. You know, they all look the same. It's like, do some hand-drawn animation, make things stylish, make it cool. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but did you see the animated movie Klaus on Netflix? Klaus?
I reckon it rings a bell.
Yeah, it rings a bell, yeah.
So it's a Christmas movie that this guy, he was a Disney animator. He left the studio at a certain point and he did this movie for Netflix, and it's all hand-drawn animation. And it's fucking beautiful to look at. Like, it was like, oh my God, I miss this style of animation so much. But he still used some like computer stuff to like polish it up.
Yeah, to shush it up.
If you're looking for a beautiful animated movie, I can't recommend Klaus enough, especially like Christmas coming up. Great Christmas movie.
Yeah, for sure. I'll watch that now. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I was just sort of like, but I was like, again, when was the last time you saw anything like Mickey? Or any, like Pluto or anything like that? Like a movie sort of thing. Like you had like Fantasia and things like that. And like, what was that film with the 3 Mexican birds?
Three Caballeros.
Yeah. Stuff like that was fucking amazing. Like that's what they built their thing on. And now you don't see nothing. You just see old Star Wars shit that just wrecked. Oh, it's awful. Yeah, I mean, although I will be watching the new one with Jude Law.
You're actually gonna watch that?
I love Jude Law. Like I'm biased that way, but I will. If it's shit, it's shit. But I'll still watch it because that guy's a legend.
I love Jude Law. I think he's a great actor, but I don't think you could pay me to watch any more Star Wars. Like, I think Disney now, their main function is to find things people loved and destroy them in the worst way possible. So, you know, making a Star Wars show that basically looks like the Goonies in space, like, I think it's gonna make the ratings for The Acolyte look like fucking the biggest thing ever. Like, it's gonna make The Acolyte look like Game of Thrones. Because I don't know anybody who's like actually jacked up to watch that, except you now.
Well, no, I'm not jacked. I was just, where was I? I was watching something and I saw Jude Law and I was like, shit, what's Jude Law doing? And then it was like Star Wars. And I was like, oh, all right then. I didn't watch The Acolyte, not for a second. I haven't given 1 second to that fucking piece of shit. But
have you
Jude
seen
Law,
the press around
give him
Wicked?
a little...
Have you seen the press around Wicked with Ariana Grande and the other co-star? It's all been all over TikTok today.
Well, what I like about Wicked is that the song Defying Gravity is finally allowing people to hold space. And, you know, that's really what you want, is to hold space when people hear that song. And I don't understand what the fuck that means. I don't understand what they're talking about. And it's the weirdest interview ever. Ariana Grande touches her finger like this, like an ET thing. Yeah. She doesn't hold her hand for support. She grabs her finger like a baby, like holding their mother's finger. It's the weirdest thing ever, that presser.
I was like watching it in pure disbelief earlier. I was sending it like videos of it to my missus, and I was like, because she's obviously into like Ariana Grande and all like her fucking music and stuff. So I was like, is this what she's like normally? Because what I remembered was like quite a tanned, quite attractive little girl, and now she looks like what I can only think. I'm in like the Body Snatchers film, innit, where someone's replaced her. And like her and the co-host, the black chick, they're the same person. And they're like leaning over and saying how much they love them and that they're really happy they're in this room. And then Ariana Grande's like, everyone in this room's got real strength behind them. And then the host of the whole thing was like, you don't know them two. and it was just like that sums it up. It's fucking weird. It's fucking so weird. Honestly.
Ariana Grande reminds me of just some like really like dopey college girl. Like whenever you see her, she's always sort of like.
But she's like changed. Her whole skin tone's changed.
Oh, I don't
She's
know.
like become a different person.
It's really weird because she used to have like more tan skin. Like she's Italian and Puerto Rican, I believe, which are, you know, they're more dark complexions. So she always had like more of an olive oil skin, dark complexion. She had brunette hair, you know, and she was an attractive girl. But then she like made herself like super white.
And she's really skinny.
Her eyebrows and her hair.
Yeah.
And it's really weird looking. It's like, you don't look like the same girl that like I was jealous of Pete Davidson for having like 6 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
I was watching that. Did you see that Nickelodeon documentary thing about the people touching kids? I can't remember what it was called.
A Hidden Secret? Is that it?
Something
I know
like
the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it had the Drake from Drake Bell. He was on it talking about getting felt up.
Oh, from
Well,
Drake
she
and
was
Josh.
on Drake and Josh. Yeah, he was on it. It was a really interesting show, but she's on it because obviously she was part of that whole time frame where the guys on it, and there's a scene of her like it looks like she's like whacking someone off, and then she gets it all over her face. And like I just thought that was the funniest thing. Like obviously it's inappropriate because she was a kid, but she plays it like she doesn't really know what's going on, and I don't really think she did know what was going on. Like
the producers knew what was going on. Put it that way.
Yeah, because she in the thing she was like, oh, they kept calling it the money shot, and I didn't know what that meant. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's too funny. Like,
diabolical.
The documentary is called Quiet on the Set.
Quiet on the Set. Yeah,
I keep meaning
it's really
to
good
watch
actually.
it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's horrible, like the things that they're talking about and stuff.
I just don't want to watch depressing shit anymore, you know? I understand everyone's talking about it. You could just tell me this person was molested, this bad thing, bad thing happened, this bad thing happened. Okay, I understand that. I don't want to sit through a 6-hour documentary about it, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. The whole thing that's got me with Wicked and why I don't want to see that hunk of shit anymore is, did you see the whole controversy about the poster? The person took the new poster and made it look like the musical, and she went fucking mental. Like the baldy went mental at the person, and I was like, I'm not spending any second watching your movie now if you're going to treat people like that. It was nothing to do with you. That it was just them making the original poster, and you've shamed them.
It was just a fan art edit someone made for fun, and you lost your mind, and you're like, you're erasing me.
Yeah.
You're erasing me. It's like, you're still there. She just moved your hand slightly so it matched the poster. It was such a psychotic fucking thing. Some of these actors and actresses are so narcissistic.
Yeah.
They can only exist in the industry they're in. Because any other industry, you'd be like, you are a fucking asshole. I don't want to deal with you. And they would lose their jobs.
Exactly. That's what I mean. My mum messaged me at the weekend, and she was like, because we go to cinema every week, and she's like, we're going to see Wicked. And I was like, no.
Am I wrong, though? I've never seen that woman before. Is she in something else?
Nothing I know. Let me check.
I don't know. Not unless she had a wig on.
Like, for someone to have that much of an ego is mad.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to have a little bit if you're an actor, because actors are fucking mental, aren't they?
So she was in the Pinocchio remake that Disney did in 2022.
God, didn't see that.
And she was in Bad Times at the El Royale, which was okay.
Apparently, she was in the Luther movie.
Don't remember that.
Yeah. She was in the Luther movie. But that's it. She doesn't have many roles. It looks like she has a lot of TV.
Yeah, so to have an ego the way she does is mad. I think she's, from them things, they're either them two have become like an alien, like a joint entity that share like a hive brain, or they're having like some secret like weird love affair that no one knows about, and we'll find out about in probably about 5 years time in an expose on Netflix or something. That's what's going to happen.
I wouldn't even be surprised. My favorite thing about the Wicked movie though is they put out all these toys and all this merch, and on the back of the boxes it said wicked.com for the website, but wicked.com was a porn site. and they had registered wickedthemovie.com. So they sent all these people to this porn site, and like someone sent like the web traffic like measurement. I don't know how they measure it, but for the Wicked porn site, and you just see it, and it's like after the release of like the Wicked merch, it skyrockets because so many people were going to it by accident.
Imagine like a little 10-year-old just searching wicked.com.
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening.
That's a quick way to grow up.
Fucking brilliant. You can't buy that sort of publicity.
No.
So how's the podcast going?
Podcast is going good, crawling along. We're gonna launch our Patreon in January. We'll see how it goes. But right now we're getting ready to launch our Christmas podcast, dropping this when is this coming out?
Friday.
This Friday.
Okay, so today, when you're hearing this, bandcamp.com, type in Reviewing History. You'll see it at the stroke of midnight Eastern Standard Time in America. It's called The Christmas Freak Off. The premise is it takes place December 2023 at a Diddy Freak Off, and we play Christmas games and have a lot of fun. And we talk about how nothing bad could happen to Diddy because this is December 2023, and we have guests, Christmas games, fun. It's 3 hours long. There's original songs recorded for it, and we also have an hour-long podcast covering Die Hard. So for $5, you're getting 4 hours of podcasting, and it's pretty funny. I laughed till I cried recording it.
So wait, so before we move on, I don't know if this ruins the episode that comes out. What's your view on Die Hard being a Christmas movie?
I mean, we're covering it for a Christmas podcast.
Okay, so that's what I mean. If it ruins your thing, I don't want to. But I just wanted to know your view because I strongly it is a Christmas movie.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, it's a Christmas movie, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Question.
Yeah. Everyone's like it's not. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's at Christmas. They're at a Christmas party. He brings a Christmas present. He says ho 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 in it.
Yeah, if you see a single Santa hat in a film, it's a Christmas film.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's not a Christmas movie, then Love Actually is not a fucking Christmas movie, right? That's what I'm going to say there.
Or Terrifier 3 is based at Christmas, even though it came out like last month.
And you know what else? It's like the other thing with Die Hard, there's other little Christmas things. So obviously he's saving Holly. His wife is Holly. Oh, I have a machine gun, all that. But the one that I never realized until this past time I watched it, he kills 12 terrorists. There's 12 terrorists. How many days of Christmas are there? 12 days of Christmas. It's another fucking link.
Exactly. Even when he went on stage at a thing and was like, "It's not a Christmas movie." I'm like, "I love you, Bruce Willis, but fuck you. You're just the actor. You're just the face. You mean nothing."
The director came out and was like, "No, it's a Christmas movie."
Yeah. Saying about Diddy and Bruce Willis, I was thinking today, did you see that the newest person in the firing line is Demi Moore for the Diddy parties?
Who's Demi Moore again?
Really?
Yeah, the one from The Substance.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're all going after her because obviously she's gone to the parties. Ashton Kutcher, who she was dating, was a big part of the parties. Bruce Willis was known at the parties and she married Bruce Willis. And I suddenly thought to myself, there's a conspiracy theory here, isn't there? I was like, what if Bruce Willis hasn't gone funny? Because Demi Moore, when he went mental, like he started going funny, Demi Moore came back to look after him. Well, what if she's not looking after him? What if he was going to expose Diddy? She's been drugging him to make him go funny.
If
they arrest her, because he's, I think he's, has he?
He's lost his power of speech, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's maybe she's drugging him. Like if they arrest her, he might all of a sudden get better. You don't know, do you? It's all linked.
Some fucking story, man.
That'd be messed up, wouldn't it?
Willis, and he's like, that's the reason I did all those shitty low budget movies where I phoned it in. It's because of Demi Moore. Me. She made me appear in Redbox movies.
Well, it could be like, it could be like he was going to come out and expose Diddy or whatever, and Diddy's made this plan to like fucking, why don't you get back with him and give him this? Because he was drugging all of his people at the fucking parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't know, do you? Until they arrest her and get her away from him, he may get better.
Full like list and like all the allegations come out. Like I don't want Diddy to die in jail. I want him to dish on everybody. I want him to bring all these people down.
He 100%. If he starts talking, he's gonna die. There's no like in between. He 100%. You'll just be like, one day we'll wake up and Diddy's He's hung himself in his fucking thing. But he obviously had no access to rope or anything like that. He's not been on suicide watch, but all of a sudden he's hung himself, and four guys that were on fucking death row are now out. That's what will happen.
Yeah.
That's what will happen. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Although Trump is friends with him, he could get him out.
He's friends with Diddy? Because I know Diddy was an Obama guy. He used to do Diddy Obama blogs where he would like make videos just talking about how great Obama was.
Yeah.
So I'd be shocked if he was friends with both of them.
There was a video, obviously way before Trump was trying to go for president, but it was a video when Trump was on The Apprentice, and he was like, "You worked for Diddy?" And she was like, "Yeah, I worked for Diddy." And he was like, "Oh, I'm good friends with Diddy. I know Diddy very well. And that went viral for a little bit during his campaign over here.
as well, did you see that Ellen DeGeneres has come to the UK? Like she's run away from.
I'm sorry, guys.
I know, yeah, I don't fucking. But the thing is, right? So
Isn't she just a talk show host? Isn't she?
Yeah, but she got exposed for being a dick face, didn't she? Like she treated everyone
she's
like
a horrible bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So she's run away from America to the UK, and then as she's left, this video surfaces of her with like 8 disabled kids on our show, and she brings out Diddy, and they all run into Diddy's arms. It's like, wow, that's a bit funny. There,
not aging well.
Yeah.
That has not aged well.
But like, there's loads of like Leonardo DiCaprio suddenly resurfaced for the Kamala Harris. He's been in hiding since Diddy got arrested. Now he's gone again. And his hole.
That's been a very popular theory that all the celebrities who are like, I'm leaving if Trump wins, and then they all have like started to go overseas. So a lot of people are like, oh, they're on the Diddy list, and they're all just hiding. That's like the theory now.
Oh, I wanted to ask you: is the show The View? Is that like Oprah? Like, is The View like a show that if what's on The View is
loose women.
law? Yeah, I know, but I'm seeing all this stuff where they're trying to like shame people and they keep having to like read out stuff that their attorneys are telling them to read out.
The View, I think the best way to describe it is 6 of the worst women in the entire country get together every morning to scream politics and yell incoherently about things they don't understand. And they're so indoctrinated into their belief system that they will destroy anything that possibly goes against it. So I'm from Staten Island, and there's a bakery on Staten Island called Holterman's. It's existed for 120 years, right? They are famous. Like, people from the city will order from them, all sorts of stuff like that. So Whoopi Goldberg tried to place an order for like 1,000 cupcakes, something ridiculous, a giant order that any bakery would want because you're going to make a lot of money. The bakery turned her down and said, we can't. We just had a boiler burst yesterday, and it was during like we had like a cold snap that week, so it was really cold. And like we just had a boiler burst like 2 days ago. We're shut down and we're reopening. She went on national TV and shamed the bakery, saying they didn't serve her because she's a liberal Kamala Harris supporter, and Staten Island is very like it's a pro-Trump area. So she came out and shamed this bakery, and the bakery had to go on national TV, and they were like, no, it was our boiler. And they had to show the work order, and they proved completely that they could not, no matter what, it was impossible for them to serve her order. And, I think they're suing her for defamation now, but they just lie and slander people and say horrible shit. And then ABC, their parent company, has their lawyers force them to read legal notes because everything they're saying is a lie.
That's what made me laugh. That's all I'm seeing. That's why I asked, because every morning I go on TikTok and I just see another member of The View going, like sitting there with a piece of paper going, I am required to
so
like you
so The View is actually a copy of Loose Women, which we have here. The View has been copied from that, but these American people have just took it, ran with it, and has gone crazy with it, basically.
When you were calling them loose women, I thought you were making a joke.
No.
I didn't know
No,
the show
It's
you
the
had
same
there.
show. It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
show, but it's a lot more like they talk about knitting and shit over here. It's not really that hyped up, but obviously these lot are getting very into politics.
It's just politics here. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it looked like. Because Oprah has that same like leverage, right? Like what Oprah says is like
Mm.
fucking. Oh, I don't much so much now.
It's funny, yeah, because she did years ago, but she's been out of the spotlight. But I mean, she's still huge. Like everybody in the world knows who Oprah is. But I don't think she has like her own show anymore. Or if she does, it's not like on national TV. I think she has her own network, the Oprah Winfrey Network own. But that's like they play like Lifetime Hallmark style movies, and like it's just like a garbage cable network no one pays attention to.
Yeah.
But The View people know about, and like one of the things they said was, so Trump nominated this guy Matt Gaetz for attorney general, and when you're nominated for the position, you have nothing, but you have to go before Congress and you have to be approved for your position, and this wouldn't take place until January. Now, he had been investigated for some sort of sex crime. I don't know what it is, right? I don't want to. I'm speaking generally. He was accused of something, and he was investigated, and they found nothing, and they dropped the charges, and there was absolutely nothing. The View went on TV, and they were like, Matt Gaetz is a rapist. He did sexual assault. He did all this shit, and they were slandering him. And that was one of the legal notes I know they had to read, because you're just accusing someone that like he was investigated. You could say he was investigated, but there was never a charge. They never found anything, and you're just calling him like a rapist and like murderer on TV.
That's
Not
bad.
murderer, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My favorite one was the one about Joe Rogan. So one of them went on there, and she was like, Joe Rogan believes in dragons, and they were like, have you fact checked this? And she goes, yeah, he absolutely said on his podcast that he believes in dragons and that they were real and they were on the earth, and he believes in dragons. And then so Joe Rogan went on his Twitter and he put dragon believer as his title on his Twitter. But I heard that he's suing them now as well for
He's like the
false
most
information.
like down to earth, straight narrowed person.
Yeah, but he supports Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why they went after him.
Yeah, they tried to slander him, and I saw the clip of him talking about dragons, and basically what the conversation was his producer, I think his producer Jamie, was like, so all these cultures have different depictions of dragons at the same time, right? So it's like the Chinese, the British, all these different places have depictions of humans fighting dragons at roughly the same time period. So he was like, what if they did exist and they had the structure of bones of birds? Because apparently birds, their bones don't like decompose in the same way. It was something like that. And they were just talking about it, and Joe Rogan was like, man, that would be crazy if it was real. Like, could you imagine? Like, because based on what Jamie was saying, it's theoretically possible, but it's not like he was like, dragons are real. It was more like they were a certain type of bird that people didn't understand really what it was. It was like a flying reptile thing. And, their conversation was a little deeper. But because of that, they took it. He believes in dragons because they're just trying to slander someone.
Which is mad. That's fucking crazy.
The one I saw this morning was they were trying to say that Elon Musk is he spreads false information and stuff like that. Like Twitter is a platform that restricts information and like only lets you see
He
what it's
opened
supposed
Twitter
to.
back up. That's the thing.
Yeah, I was like, he went in there and fired 95% of the staff because he was like, well, when you don't care about censoring, you don't need employees. So it's like it's complete opposite of what he does. Fuck, absolutely mental.
What they really don't like more than anything else is they don't like that their side. So basically in America, the left has controlled all the media in the country essentially since like 1960. It's been very liberal, and they've controlled, Silicon Valley, and they've controlled everything else. And Twitter was huge. And they don't like that they don't have complete control of the narrative anymore, and Twitter is letting people say whatever the fuck they want. And it probably helped Trump win this current election, and they fucking hate that, you know? And that's really what it's all about. If Kamala would have won in a landslide, they still would be trying to like get rid of it, but they wouldn't be as aggressive as they are now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Still funny though.
Anyone in the country actually likes The View.
Well, at this point, no, but it makes me almost want to watch it. It's annoying because I really like Whoopi Goldberg, but she's after listening to her on that,
got
I'm
on
a bit
pedestal,
like, yeah. When she's like, there was this clip where she goes on there and she's like, I come to work every day. I'm one of you. I'm a working person. And then someone on TikTok was like, let's see about that. And they bring up like all of the money she's making and stuff like that. And they're like, you earn something like $77,000 a month. He's like, that's more than 3 households put together. You are not a working person at all. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
It's like they think because they go to a job every day is the same thing as like someone going to work like shoveling shit in a ditch. It's like, no, your job isn't the same. You have a job that almost anyone on the planet would gladly switch with you. If it was sit there and talk for, an hour a week and you're going to make $77,000 a month or, an hour a day, most people will sign up for that and they'll retire after like 5 years. They'll have enough.
Yeah. And she's been acting since she's like, what, 20?
Definitely since the 90s. And I think she was active in the 80s. So she's got to be like in her 60s or 70s now. So she's made enough money.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Wasn't she? She was with Samuel Jackson for a while, wasn't she?
I don't know. Did they date? I know she was with Ted Danson, and he did that Oscar sketch where he was in blackface.
Yeah,
I love Ted Danson. I was listening to Ted Danson's podcast, and he had Bill Hader on there, and I couldn't stop laughing. There was a bit where he's talking about getting heckled and that, because obviously everyone knows you, and Bill Hader's like, "Oh yeah, I come out of this hotel in New York." And this guy goes, what does he say to him? Hey, SNL, you sucker. And he's like yelling at him across the road. I was like, I couldn't stop fucking laughing. But I didn't realize that Ted Danson's wife is the mum from Step Brothers.
Yes. Mary Steenburgen, I think her name is.
I was like, that they must be fucking laughing all the time.
I'm sure they have a blast. I mean, I love Ted Danson, especially on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's great on that. And she was on that too. Like she played herself for a little bit. And then they wrote her out and they had him get with Larry's fake wife on Curb.
Yeah, no, Ted Danson's he's the boss, man. Right, Right. Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken for food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you're easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you to see you later. Please enjoy the rest of the show. And as always, our merch is live. You can go onto our beacons and find our hats, t-shirts, everything you find there. And there's also a 20% off Essence Vault as a cheeky gift for Christmas. How's your merch doing?
No Hope merch. It exists. Does it move? Very rarely. Like maybe we sell like a shirt a month.
Yeah.
We don't have enough designs. I think that's our problem too. And also, we're a smaller show, so people aren't, buying the merch. But I'm hoping that they'll buy the content, if not the merch, because otherwise we're really fucked.
We find that I brought it up on the last episode. I had like a big moan at the listeners. I was just like, as soon as we put a price tag on anything, it's a non-mover. If it's free, they'll lap it up and it's gone. But if there's a price tag, and I just kept saying, it's to make the show grow. It's to make the show grow. We're not like sitting here like fat cats with fur coats on, thinking we're fucking rolling in money. We're like trying to grow the show.
We had an email. So the merch has been up for a couple of months. And we had an email from the company. Like we used a small company that's in Scotland. And they sent an email and they were like, oh, this is how much you've made since it's up. Do you want us to put it in the bank or do you want us just to keep hold of it and accumulate? And I sent the email to Jamie. I was like, I sent it. I was like, just keep it. Like, don't even bother. It's not worth my time sending the bank details. I was like,
No.
leave it.
We'll wait it out until after Christmas.
You're just depressing me. Yeah, so like the thing with growing a show, like especially when you're doing it independently, is like to really grow a show effectively and efficiently, you need extra people doing extra shit. The fact of the matter is you need to have like constant TikToks, constant shorts, constant clips, like trying to do extra projects. You just need to constantly be producing. For a smaller scale operation, it's almost impossible to do it alone. So like in order to grow, you need people to be supporting you so you could pay people to do the extra shit because it's almost self-sustaining.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like why all the biggest podcasts are already rich celebrities because it's like Haktua can come on. She starts with 1 million listeners and she has a full team of people doing all the bullshit work for herself.
She just sits down and talks.
Exactly. Guys like us, it's like, okay, the show's done. Now I need to edit. I have to mix the audio. I have to do this, this, and this. Now I have to clip clips. I have to make a thumbnail. I have to do it. And it's endless shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it's much easier to do that when you have a full team. And we need money, especially my show. Go to bandcamp.com, buy the Christmas Freak Off, please. We need the money so we can like keep our bank account positive and hopefully get to a point where we can pay people so we can do more cool shit, more documentaries, more things like that, you know, more on the road footage.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, because people have said to us about, I think a couple of weeks ago, they were like, would you go to Amsterdam? And I'm like, I'd fucking love to go to Amsterdam, but if I could afford it, you know what I mean? I'd go to where is it? Oh, well. Moaning's over. Right. Am I a bad person?
Yes.
Okay, now I said that and something fell off. I tell you, man, my fucking house is getting
haunted.
Yeah. So, Brian, the other day I was in the front room and one of my light bulbs fully exploded, like fire came out of it. And then me and Sabina come back to the house on Friday. We've just both fallen asleep. It's about 11 o'clock. And then the fire alarm starts going off. And I get up and there's like nothing anywhere. And I like turn it off and I'm like running around the house like naked, trying to find like the window. I've got no curtains. I'm like running up and down the house, nothing. And then I just did that and something I'm like, this house is fucking...
Just on that note, is with Sabina moving in soon, is she insisting on curtains? Are you going to end up having curtains?
There are curtains in certain places, but like I've taken some of the shitty ones down. I just haven't bought new ones.
She's slowly turning Dan's house into a livable space.
The only place that has curtains is where I stay, where it's cold. So I bought thermal curtains. So the front room and my bedroom has curtains, and the rest of the house, I was just like, fuck it. That was the point. My parents think I'm still at university, but I actually quit last year and have been living off my student loan. It started by me being scared to let them down when I told them, but it ended up just going too far. I've gone as far as to ask them to come and get me during holiday seasons too, and I borrowed money here and there to go out with my friends. Am I a bad person for this white lie being a big lie? P.S. I'm enjoying the show. You guys are down to earth and you do not pander to each other's opinions, which is refreshing. It's because Jamie doesn't know shit.
Chalk and cheese.
I don't think you're a bad person if you don't want to let down your parents. I think it's like a...
I think it started off a white lie. I think it's ended up being bigger than it should be.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
Anytime you can trick someone out of money or give them money, you have a moral obligation to steal as much as possible. So you're doing the right thing in my book, man. Take your parents for every dime they got. Send them to the poorhouse. Make them regret you were ever born. No, seriously, though, I did something similar. I dropped out of college twice. The first time I threw away like almost a wrestling scholarship to college. It just wasn't for me. I didn't want to go to college, but I didn't tell my parents that I was dropping out. So I would pretend to leave every day to go to college and then like fuck off at a friend's house, or I would like sleep in the parking lot or at like the college and do whatever. I just stopped going to class and practice. Then the second time, they were like, okay, now you have to we're pulling you, you're not in that school anymore, you failed out, we're sending you to a different college. So they sent me to the College of Staten Island, which was like the local community college, and I went there, and after like a couple of weeks I was like, fuck this, and I stopped going there too, and I didn't tell my parents. And then eventually, the grades come in and they're like, you didn't go to college again? I was like, no, I didn't. And they're like, okay, we've wasted enough money on you. Fuck you. Now you need to join the military or you're going to be thrown out. So they wanted me to join the military. I started the enlisting process. I was going to join the Navy. And then I ended up never fully going due to other stuff that happened. So I understand your predicament, but my advice is pull the Band-Aid off. Be honest. If you don't want to go to college or it's not for you, or it's difficult, you can find another path in life of something you want to do. But I wouldn't just take your parents' money because, by doing this now, you may be depriving yourself of an opportunity later that your parents can help you with. And I know that's a selfish thing to say, but you might be burning a bridge right now that you don't need to burn.
True. Very true. I do think as well, like me and Dan would talk about it, if this is how I was taking it because I had a family member that went through the same thing. If you've been living off your student loan, which you would have got in the UK, if that student loan has been given to you and you've not used it, you're supposed to pay it back straight away. If you've left college or left university, you're supposed to pay it back instantly. And if you don't, you can get in trouble. So if this person's living in a house share, I would be careful who you're telling that that you're still using that student loan, and that you're obviously, because you can get yourself into some deep shit. That's before you even think about your parents.
I'm sure that they make you. I don't think they make you pay it back instantly, because who's going to be able to? I'm sure it turns into a payment plan with increased interest.
When I talked to my brother about it after, and he said as soon as you've left the course, you had to stay for the rest of the year, because as soon as you left the course, even though you've paid up for your dormitory and all that stuff, all that money needs to go straight back. So all the money they spent on accommodation, he would have to find, which was like £3,000 or something for the rest of the year.
God, I didn't go to fucking uni.
No one, especially a fucking teenager, you ain't got that money.
Fucking horseshit. It's just fucking.
But be careful. All I'm saying is be careful who you tell, innit? Because if you tell like someone that decides they don't like you, there'll be all of a sudden you'll get a knock on the door.
When this email came in, it came in the morning, and I was messaging Jamie, and he brought up that about that being paid back, and it just annoyed me instantly because I've just gotten up, and like I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I'm gonna punch Jamie in the face, and she's like, why? And I was like, because the email's about lying to his parents. And all Jamie keeps messaging me about and sending me screenshots is about the loan. I was like, I don't give a fuck about the loan.
I'm trying to protect our listener, innit? Because I know people are snakes. That's all.
Like, he's fixated on the wrong thing. Yeah, no, I agree with Brian. Like I didn't care about the loan. Like, fuck the government, take as much money as you can. But it's right. Like, if you because you're already lying and now you're lying to take money, if anything happens in the future, if God forbid, like you end up homeless or anything like that, they're going to be less less inclined to help you out, because they just think, or you're even giving yourself that negative image. Yeah,
any money you're getting off them now could be a future like help towards a house deposit or something. If you're moving into a house or whatever, it could be anything.
Yeah, you might be depriving yourself. You're better off just biting the bullet. Be honest. Tell the truth. They're your parents. They'll probably be pissed at first. They may yell at you, but they'll probably forgive you eventually.
Yeah.
If anything, I can't imagine you borrowed that much. I would like try and have the money and be like, this is what's happening, blah, 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 blah. And like, here's the money that you gave me, as a good fail, just because you're supposed to give it back anyway. You borrowed it.
Yeah.
Nothing's for free.
Does it say how old they are?
No. If it's university, and that's got to be like 19 or something.
First year university is like 19, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, why did the person decide college wasn't for them? Was it the class they were taking? Was it the major? You
Mm.
know, like, I wish I had more information so I could talk to them more about it because, you know, you don't need to go down that set path at 19, you know? I mean, I'm also coming at it from an American perspective. I don't know what it's like over there, but for us it's like, you know, I didn't go back and finish college until I was 27. I started my final bachelor's program after dropping out every time before when I was 27. So I started when I was 27. I graduated like a couple weeks before my 30th birthday, and then I went right for my master's and started my career. So, you know, I don't think it's a thing where you have to do it right now just because you're that age. Maybe you want to work first and find your own path. But I don't know what it's like over there.
I do think it's kind of like going through school, but last year's in high school and stuff, you're expected to go to. There's two paths you're going to take, and I think it's still what's the word?
Indoctrinated?
Indoctrinated into society. Where in the UK, you go down the thing where you're going to be doing like become an electrician and do some sort of construction work, or you go down the path where you're going to go to, we call them A levels and sixth form, which is like the in between stage just before university. And then when you're in sixth form, it's just expected that you're going to go to university. So I think for a lot of people, they just ride that wave and then decide when they're in university they don't like it. And I think a lot of the time it's just because they've not known what else to do. So that could be the case with this
Yeah.
listener.
In America, like you'll hear like you know, people will say like you don't want to be a garbage man or you don't want like that
Mm.
job. They'll like kind of say that, like putting down other jobs and be like, that's why you need to go to college. So you're not like that guy out there picking up garbage. And like you'll hear that a lot. And it's like teachers will say it, everybody. And it's kind of this thing where it's like that's what I must do. I must graduate high school, and then the next thing I must do is I must go to college. And I think so many people do that without any sort of real plan or path or place they really want to go, and it leads to situations like this and problems because we're sending people off to determine the rest of their life before their brains are even fully developed. Your brain doesn't develop until you're 26. So we're sending people who like are still not thinking rationally and clearly and saying, what do you want to do the next 40 to 50 years? It's an insane fucking
It's
societal thing.
crazy,
It
yeah.
really is.
At 19, I was a complete dickhead. So for me to like make any life decisions at that age, but looking back on it, would be insane. It would be insane.
I hate that thing about like you don't want to be a garbage man. Garbage people in this country are on good fucking money. I would love to be a fucking trash collector.
Yeah, but you know that now, Dan. When you're 18, you're like, fuck that. You don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean?
I
They
just
make good
fucking
money in America too.
yeah. I just think I've met loads of people as well that wash windows, and like they've had more money than I've ever fucking met. People that clean windows in this fucking country are fucking minted. You know what I mean? I'm just like, where is this shit? But I reckon, like, the thing about going to college and stuff like that, this guy's probably realised that this country's fucked and that he's going to spend 4 years, get himself in the debt for the rest of his life and end up in McDonald's. You know what I mean? So he's like, fuck this, I'm just not bother. What's the point?
Start McDonald's now. In 4 years, you can be a manager.
Exactly, yeah. On 50p more than when you started. I remember going past the KFC and they had a big banner up about working in KFC. And they stupidly put the fucking pay for each of the departments. And it was literally like a 10p difference. The manager, I think, was on 25p more than the person beyond the till. And I'm like, I don't want that fucking job. Like, you're having a laugh, you know? Why would you promote that?
I always think KFC's not worth it, man. 'Cause, like them type of places, like if you're near a pub, if you work in one of them places and you're near a pub, all you're gonna get is abuse because you'll end up on the Friday night shift or the Saturday night shift, and you'll get loads of drunk people come in, and they will just abuse you. I remember standing in a subway, and the guy behind the subway counter was crying because the amount of abuse he was getting.
I would just be adding stuff onto their order and then not giving it to them and keeping it for myself. Be like, oh, there's a couple of extra chicken wings for £1 and put them in my pocket, and then they have no idea. Fuck it, I'll be stuffed by the end of it. But yeah, I think we're unanimous. You gotta own up.
Yeah.
How long can you
Tell
keep
the
it
truth.
going? Yeah. It's better to own up, and then if anything, they can help you maybe decide what you want to do, if you want that, or just get to work. You know what I
Do
mean?
you know what I
Own
would
your way.
do? I would just tell them that you finished now and that you've decided to quit now, and just don't mention the fact that you did it a year ago. Just say, "Oh, I don't want to do it anymore."
Jamie loves a good lie.
That's what I would
Jamie
do
would lie.
personally.
Lord, with the full truth.
Yeah.
Because the money situation could bite you in the ass here, which is why you got to just tell the full truth.
Yeah,
Because
true.
if you end up owing back and you're like, fuck, I need all the money, and you go to your parents and you're like, hey, I need, whatever it is, they're going to be like, well, you just quit though, you know?
Yeah.
That's why you got to tell the full
True.
truth.
Jamie just likes to lie until he doesn't like to own up, do you, Jamie?
Well, this podcast isn't about doing what I would do. It's about doing what I advise to do. And what I would do is not always what I advise to do.
Yeah, I would end up like tripping over myself and just like blurting something out, and they'd be like, "What? Like,
Yeah,
weren't you?"
when I told them to
And I'd be
fuck
like,
off
"What?"
in March.
But good luck anyway. Hopefully you've decided what to do, especially when it's coming up to Christmas. Is the best time, right? Everyone, here's a nice present that I've bought you. By the way, I'm not at university anymore. All right, going into my latest business venture, I struggle making ends meet and trying to get the business off its feet. This means it's going to be a quiet Christmas for presents, and I'm hoping people understand. How do I break it to my friends and family that I can't afford presents for them all?
You will probably never be forgiven if you don't find a way to get extravagant gifts. So, this is what I suggest. You got to get a ski mask. You got to find a local bank that or a GameStop, some sort of place with high value goods. And you got to get into the store next to it after closing, like hide in the bathroom and wait. When it's closed, get a drill or cut a hole through the store, go in from the side, steal the GameStop, the GameCube, whatever. GameCube, I'm dating myself, but you know what I mean. PS5, Xbox, whatever. Put it all in a sack. Hide in the bathroom, right? The next morning when the place opens, walk out the front door when they open with everybody else.
I feel like that's a film. I really feel like I've.
Be. But that's what you need to do. And that's how you can have your parents and friends love, when you just hand out PS5s that you stole to everybody. You'll be like the King Santa.
The problem is you'd get the taste of it then. You'd get the taste of it and you'd be doing that more often.
Pretty slow for the, yeah.
Once for Christmas and you're fine. Yeah, everyone will forgive you. No, the serious answer is I think people will forgive you, especially if they know you're trying to start a new business venture and you're struggling. If they are actually worth having any sort of care about, they'll understand your current position in the hopes that eventually your business will be flourishing and you will be able to get them good gifts. That's the hope, right? That we all want to do well so we can buy nice things for ourselves and others. So you have to hope that eventually you get to that point. And if they're good people who care, they'll support you in that journey. And if they're scumbags, they'll be like, why didn't you steal a PS5 from like a GameStop for me?
I would just be giving everyone the gifts of my business. Like this year, everyone's getting a podcast T-shirt. That's what they're getting. Like every single one of them. So that's what I'll be doing. Like, it doesn't matter what you make, just wrap it up and give everyone's got the same gift. Then there you go.
Very true. Very true. I think we're like, it's happened. Like, my brother's not had enough money at Christmas, but I've not had enough money when I first moved out, because I was earning like 16. We were working it out the other day. I think I was on like 16.5 grand a year when I first moved into my first flat, which is fucking mental. That's like nothing. And I was like, how did I afford a mortgage? And I remember having no money when I lived in the flat when I first moved out. And that first Christmas, we just about afforded a tree, but we couldn't afford nothing else. And I was just, my mum and that was just like, don't worry about it. And I think, as Brian said, if the people are worth anything in your life, they won't care. They'll just be like, it don't matter. As long as you're here for Christmas, it don't really matter. Although I am a really bad gift giver. I do give to receive. So if I am one of the people in your list, make sure it's a good present in the future.
I just hate the waiting. I was saying to Sabine the other day, I was like, I fucking hate presents, right? Because I'm a really paranoid buyer.
Oh,
So
right.
I'm like, I see something and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're going to like that. But now I bought it and I've got to wait 25 days to find out if I'm right or not. So now I'm just sitting there looking at it going, nah, that's shit.
What if
They're
they
not going
don't
to
like
fucking
it?
want that.
Yeah.
And then the next day I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And it's just this awful fucking turnstile of hatred. And then once they get it, they really enjoy it and I'm okay. But it's like, fuck. That's probably why I leave buying presents to the last minute.
Mm.
Because I don't want to have them sitting there. Fucking Christmas. I've never been I don't really buy presents for friends. I don't think I've ever really done it. Like, maybe if I see something for like 1 year. I think I got Jamie something 1 year, and then out of like the 15 years we've known each other.
Yeah, there was 1 year that we got something for each other. But other than that, we
Yeah.
don't really do. I think girls do it more than guys, but
The whole Secret
Charlotte's
Santa
got a
thing.
whole list of fucking people that she needs to buy for.
Yeah, Sabina does it too.
Some people gifts that are friends, but usually it's one of those things where it's like, now you've given me a gift, now I must reciprocate, and like, it kind of goes like that. But typically I don't give gifts to my friends, but I do buy gifts for like a couple of bosses and people that have helped me out with stuff throughout the year, things like that. And obviously I try to get my family really nice shit.
Yeah. If anything, I would like get something for like mum and dad. Like, if you can't really afford anything or anything like that, like, just buy for your immediate people, and it doesn't have to be anything amazing, you know what I mean? But like, at least it's like, oh, sorry, it's a bit tight, but I've got you this little something. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, that's what I normally do. I've got no fucking money. Here you go. Just go around my house later on and just wrap things up that I own, give it to them. But Christmas
A
isn't all
gently
about
used
giving.
lamp.
Yeah, exactly. But good luck. Have a good Christmas anyway.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
It's been a while, gentlemen. I've spent the last 6 months in jail. I ended up getting into a silly road rage incident and got charged for it. I'm out now and I'm looking for a fresh start. I've been turned down in a lot of jobs so far, and I'm worried that it's the recent time away that's caused it, and I'm starting to get worried that it's causing issues. Is it bad to lie about it on my job application? I think it depends on the job, right?
Ooh,
Depends.
this is tricky. So what I would do is go to the parking lot, wait for the boss to leave whatever establishment it is, cut him off on the road, get him to pull over, walk over, grab him and go, "Listen, motherfucker, you better hire me or I'm gonna beat you to fucking death." And then he'll remember you and he may hire you. It is risky.
A new
No,
road rage incident.
Yeah, no, seriously, I don't think it's bad to lie on a job application. Hopefully, they don't find out. But what every job application is you are selling yourself. You're putting the best version of yourself possible. It's like any salesman, right? If I'm selling you a pen and I know this pen only has 500 strokes before it's dead, I'm not going to lead with that. I'm going to talk about how great those 500 strokes will be.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention it's dead after 500 strokes. So that's your job as a salesman for yourself. You're selling yourself here. So you need to talk about all the good shit you bring to the table and hide anything bad and negative. You're selling yourself. You're a salesperson. So when you go on this job interview, you need to be like, I'm professional. I want to work. I'm willing to take anything. You need to have that air of desperation. You need to say, I'll work off the books for less. I don't care. You just have to find a place that will get your foot in the door, even if you're taking less than you're probably worth. You just got to get started and get the ball rolling and kind of reestablish yourself. So you have to use every trick at your disposal to get that done.
And it's always easier to get a job, I think, when you're in work. So even if you're earning less in the job that you've actually got, that probably could be just a stepping stone to the next thing. I think Obviously, they put on the fucking applications. It's illegal to not tell us what you fucking done on your fucking criminal record. But at the end of the day, if you go in and you just say this was all mocked up before I'd even fucking had that charge because he's a recent charge. If anything ever comes back to you, you just have to manage the expectation that you're just going to have to disappear and just not come back. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jamie, we need you to come in. We need to do some background checks on you. And I will be fucking out of there. I'll be gone. You just hear the fire exit go.
I think it's all like, it's a road rage incident, right? So it's like, unless you're going to be like a delivery driver, I don't think they need to know. Like, why does Asda or McDonald's or whatever care what you did behind of a wheel when you're not going to be
exactly.
be anywhere near a car?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
and it could be something like that was out of character as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, if you're applying for like office jobs or anything like that, then I don't think it's necessary. Like, they won't do, Asda and that won't do a fucking background check.
It's only normally if you work with kids
money
and stuff. If you
or you
some sort of kid job.
If you want to be delivery driver, you have to give in a, what do they call it? You put in your driver's license number, and it prints out a form from the government that tells you everything that you've done wrong. Mine's blank. Thank you very much. But apart from that, yeah, what does it fucking matter? Unless they ask, I don't care. It's only when like you've been there a week and then you start bragging to the people you work with.
Mate, we have every like couple of years we have criminal record checks at my place because of the type of work we do. We have to have criminal record checks, and there's a few guys that have been working there and that have had incidents happen while they've worked there. So obviously they've worked there for like 15 years, but then all of a sudden they get charged for assault or something, and then like. All of a sudden, they're like, when the new things come round, it's like, oh, the next checks are coming in February. January, gone. Nowhere to be seen. So-and-so's disappeared. There's like, what's happened? Oh, they've just disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. That's what people do. You got to do it.
We had a guy at work, this is unrelated to like job interviews, there was this Polish guy, and I was sitting at home, and I got this email from him on Facebook, haven't spoken to him for months. And it was like, hey, Dan, how you doing? I was like, not bad, man. And he was like, can I ask a favour? Can I borrow £150? And I was like, what? No. Yeah, I was like, not a fucking chance. And I just ignored it, right?
Just like, get the fucking needle out of your arm. That's what I'd be like.
Yeah. A couple months goes by, and I'm like, I haven't seen him at work. That's really weird. So I went up to one of his people he used to talk to, and I was like, oh, have you seen him? And they were like, oh, he borrowed a load of money off of people and then just fucking disappeared. He got a loan from work as well. So you can get a loan and they take the money back off you each month out your pay.
Mm.
So he took some money off of the work. The boss was like, oh, did they give it to you? And he's like, oh, no, they didn't give me any money. So he went and got a loan for him and gave him the money and was like, oh, just pay me back if they won't give it to you. Then went round and took money off everyone else and then just fucking gone. No one knows where he is. He's just fucking
where he is. He's back in Poland. That's where he fucking is.
Yeah.
Well, this guy got arrested for dealing drugs a couple of years ago, and then work took him back. Now, why would you lend someone like that money?
Yeah, well.
Like, that's their own fucking fault, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe it. I thought it was so funny because I was like, where is he? Oh, he's just gone, isn't he?
I mean, it's a good move on his part.
Yeah, yeah.
Mate.
Yeah, if you can just go fucking leave the country, why not? He's like, get the fuck out of here.
There was a woman I used to work with. She was Sri Lankan, yeah. And she used to come across lovely. Like, she was a really nice woman. She did everything for me as well. She was my second in command. She was like really like efficient. Turns out, before I'd even joined the store as well, she was co-signing her own cash when she was doing the cashing up at the end of each day. And we were going through this whole thing with the security company because thousands of pounds was going missing. She stole like, I think it was like £67,000 she stole because she was, where you're supposed to like count money and then get someone else to co-sign you, she was co-signing herself and putting half of the amount in the fucking real safe and then taking half of it. And then as soon as anyone got a whiff of what was going on, off to Sri Lanka she went, nowhere to be found again, innit? Nowhere to be found again.
Wish I could do something like that. I'd just be fucking paranoid. I couldn't do it.
It only works if you have like a certain type of country to go back to,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
One where you won't get extradited from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For
Where they'll
sure.
never find you. Your government's not going to rat you out.
Mm.
They don't care.
No. It's annoying. When I first started working, I worked for a job that's cash. They gave you cash. And I remember having like 30 or 40 pound extra. So I went in, and because I'm a dickhead, I went and like owned up, and I was like, "Oh, I think you gave me too much." Which now, thinking back to it, the woman that was doing the handing the money out for pay, she was pocketing it, so she was probably trying to see if I would snitch on her. But I gave it back to him, and he was a real cunt, and he was like, "Well, I would have figured out that you had it anyway." And I was like, "I should have just fucking kept it, you fucking
He would
prick."
never have figured that out.
No, he wouldn't. But
No.
I was just like, you couldn't just say thanks for that. He had to give me a little. I was like, yeah, fucking
30 quid back in the day would have got you a good like PlayStation game or something.
yeah. Especially because the fact it was a bakery and I used all my wages on fucking lunch. They had like a book, and I used to like load up on just cakes and write in the book, and then when I got paid, I just gave it back to him. Fucking nightmare. But yes, leave little blanks on your CVs. You know what I mean? If they don't need to know,
Yeah.
they don't need to know. Fuck them.
Extend the time I was at different jobs so they don't know I was fired.
Yeah.
You got to cover your ass.
Oh yeah, half places don't fucking look anyway.
You were a manager. You were a general manager in fucking Blockbuster, that type of stuff. Like the classics. You got to pull them out.
Yeah, all my grades were all made up on my CV. I just picked letters. I mean, no one after 5 years they don't check. You know what I mean, so I just put whatever.
Even
Doesn't
if
matter.
they did check, I don't know if I even know where my certificates are because I'm that unorganised.
I didn't pick mine up. They were like, "Come back on this date to collect them," and I never went back. So I have no idea what my grades were.
That sums up.
education
That's the
system.
extra. See the extra hour we were talking about that we have in school, Brian. That's what that's done.
Yeah.
Fuck all for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely fuck all.
Once I was gone, I was
just
gone.
kept you busy. That's it.
Extra nap times. Hey, first time writing in. I've been invited to a Christmas work night out for some guys that I've been trying to befriend for a long time. I'm nervous and I don't want to show myself up. I'm not the most well-versed drinker and going to try and take it easy, but I have a tendency of getting too excited, especially because I've been waiting to be friends with these guys for a while. Any advice on a newbie drinker? Well, this doesn't really help with
drink, but I got advice for you. What you got to do is tell them you are a recovering alcoholic, make up the most tragic backstory. Like I'll hang out, but the last time I got drunk, I drove drunk and I killed 3 pregnant women and it was the worst thing ever, and I vowed never to drink alcohol again. And they won't ask you to drink and you could just hang out and have fun. Or the other direction you can go is you go so hard that you scare them and you're like, let's shoot some fucking H, let's shoot some horse, pull out like some fucking like fake coke, put it on your hand and just rip it, and like go so over the top that you kind of scare these other guys, and they'll be like, whoa, maybe we should take it easy tonight. Just go so ridiculous they don't know how to fucking deal with you. No, but the serious answer is just be honest, hang out, have one or two, and say, I really don't drink that often. Most people aren't going to give a shit. They'll just be happy you're there, hanging out, having fun. And just, yourself. So if you feel you're getting to a line where you're going to fuck things up for yourself, stop. That's it. Have self-control. Have one or two, be sober, have a good night. That's it.
Yeah, don't let the peer pressure take over. Stay away from shots as well. Shots do not help. What I did at the Oktoberfest not long ago, which Dan knows about, and no one that I went on that night out with still don't know, is I was drinking lager tops, which is like a pint of beer but topped up with a little bit of lemonade, so it was diluting the shit out of my beer because I just knew I'd be drinking too much. and I would get absolutely smashed, and no one noticed. So if you want to do that, be sneaky about it. Do that, or even another one that I've done in the past is if you drink spirits like vodka and Coke or whatever, drink a vodka and Coke. The next time you go to the bar, buy a Coke, and just keep like interchanging it, and no one will fucking know, especially if they're drunk. They don't clock on after a while, and you can do what you want.
They don't care.
Yeah.
See, I'm bad when I'm drunk. I just start drinking every other people's drinks. So
Yeah,
I just walk up to
you're a
Jamie
table
and grab it out of
surfer.
his hand. Yeah, I'll just grab it out of Jamie's hand and be like, "There's no alcohol in this." And, like, throw it. I always have like a really like high protein meal, and that's not like when me and Jamie went for my birthday to Edinburgh. We went to a steak place, and I had a T-bone, and I could not for the life of me get drunk that night. That fucking steak was so massive.
My heart down, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't. I was just drinking. I just felt like a water balloon. Like it was sloshing around in there. Like, stay away from like curries and stuff like that, but like a really good sort of like dense like meat.
Yeah,
is
the
really
starchy
good for, like,
stuff
absorbing
helps.
it.
Some starchy stuff helps as well.
But no, don't eat rice because that's terrible when you throw it up. Like little fucking pellets.
God. Jesus.
Love drinking. But yeah, no, I always have a limit where like when I go to the toilet, if I'm like swaying when I'm peeing, that's my cut off. I know that I've had too many.
And I would kind of treat it with a night out as well. Like if you've been invited, you're already in. Do you know what I mean? Like they've invited you because they like you enough to have you out with them. Like the group of guys that I go out with from work, we don't invite everyone that we talk to. We invite the group of guys that we know are not going to be dicks. Like if someone gets too drunk, the rest of us will just send them home. Do you know what I mean? You got to kind of trust the people you're going out with, so you're already halfway in.
Yeah. There's all those things as well, like drink slowly. Like they're not going to offer you to buy you another drink until you finish the other one.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to slow down, just like slow down drinking, and they won't offer. Don't do this. I hate when like you bring a new person out and like they're already planning the next meetup, or they add you on Facebook, or they're asking for your number, and it's like, I'm not on a date. You know what I mean? We're out for a couple of drinks. Just, chill out.
Let's see how it goes.
If it goes well, like, I'll see you another day.
That's very needy. Also, well, you may want to do this. It's like a fun game I play. Whenever someone takes out their phone, go, who you texting? Who you talking to? And just see, what everyone's got going on in their lives. And just, be really up in their business. People love it. Like if someone's like, oh, I'm talking to my girlfriend, say, can I see pictures? And like say it really like creepy, be like, I want to see what she looks like.
I am. Do you know what? Picture. Yeah, I know you're taking the piss, yeah, but I am bad for that. If someone's got a girlfriend, I'll be like, let me have a look.
When you've had a few drinks, though, you do.
Yeah,
you do go like, oh, let's have a look. I remember us being at a party and that happened, and then he showed us a naked picture of her. Do you remember that at that party? And he was like, yeah, look at this, and we're like,
I was like,
I have no idea what was going on. I'm like, what?
That's a win.
Yeah, apart from the fact that I was so drunk, I can't remember what it looked like, but I remember the fucking conversation.
You just remember the skin tone.
Yeah. I'm just like, holy fuck. But yeah, no, you're there to have a good time, right? Like, you go at your own pace. No one's going to press you into it unless, well, depending on the guys you're with. But like, you know what I mean? Just have a good time. Don't, all this like worrying about it is just going to put you over the edge, right?
Yeah, make you worse.
Yeah, just relax, have fun, talk about whatever. You guys have some sort of common interest because you're going to hang out. So just focus on that, talk about it, have one or two, keep it cool, ask to see their girlfriend's nudes, all that stuff. The usual shit. You guys will have fun.
Yeah. Lad talk. Mention two men, no hope, all that's nasty stuff.
Yeah,
of course you'll be wearing your t-shirt out anyway. You know what I mean? And they'll ask you about it. So it's good going.
And be like, hey, I heard this awesome Christmas podcast. It's called The Christmas Freak Off on Bandcamp.com. It was really awesome. I heard it on Two Men No Hope, my favorite podcast.
we're just like plugging everything. Just slip everything in there.
Yeah, just keep plugging like our shit. People will love it. Go up to other people in the bar too. Let them know.
We'll send them some stickers. You just go around putting stickers everywhere on people's fucking tables.
Yeah.
Have a good time, man. Hopefully you do something stupid and you end up emailing again, because that'll be good for the show. It's always good. I have been caught masturbating in my garden by my neighbour. I do not know what come over me, and now I'm mortified. In hindsight, I should have went inside, but I didn't, and now I'm scared of leaving the house. I was on the deck chairs round the back, and the urge came over me. I was paying no attention to my surroundings until I saw something caught my attention, and it was my neighbour, and they looked and gasped and shut the curtains. She is a woman in her 70s, and now I'm worried I've made her feel uncomfortable. What should I do here, guys? So this is a woman as well.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Brian's
here's what
eyes
I'm
lit
gonna
up.
say. My kind of woman. What I'm gonna say is, I don't think that you owe her an apology or anything, especially as a woman. I like to think you gave that woman a gift. It's not every day you get a free show like that. So a site like that is very welcome. And she's a 70-year-old woman, so she's probably more conservative. Has she ever even seen that in her life? No. She may have went her whole life without seeing a chick naked masturbating outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gave her the gift of that. I don't think you need to feel guilty. Also, I'll say this, it's your property. You have every right to play with your minge outside if that's what you want to do. If she doesn't want to see it, she can close those curtains and look. You play away. If it's a nice day and you're horny, you do that. I'll tell you a story that happened to me once. So it was my first apartment. My bed was next to the window going into the backyard, and there was an air conditioner next to my bed. So it was a house that was split in like sections. So there was an illegal basement apartment. There was a family that lived above me and my roommate, and me and my roommate lived on the back portion. The landlady was friends with the family that lived above us. So, I had some time. I was looking to kill. I was like, Brian's about to fucking jerk off. And I have my porn up. I'm on my computer. And my back is to the window, the AC, and I'm not thinking about it. I hear them talking behind me, but I'm like, I got work in like an hour or two. I want to go to work calm and cool. I don't want to be angry. I got to get the demons out. So, I'm watching porn on my laptop, and it's so loud, I don't realize they're able to hear it through the window. And they hear and I hear my landlady go, "Oh my," and they're all laughing. Now, here's the question you have to ask yourself. Did I stop or did I keep going? I kept going. You're damn right I did. So, nothing wrong. You gave her a gift. She's a lucky 70-year-old woman that she got to see that sight.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think 70 or not, yeah. Like, she was young once. She was young once. And, like, when I like to think when I'm 70, even if the old boy isn't working anymore, the urge will still fucking be there. Do you know what I mean? If I saw someone having a go at themselves in the back garden, I would still be well happy to have seen it. So
I'll be right with it. I'll be like looking, like, hey. No, like I always say, like it made me laugh when Brian brought it up, because every time we get something like this, I always say, if you're looking in my window or my garden, that's your fucking problem. It's my property. You know what I mean? You should be lucky you're getting a free show, because I should be charging for that shit. So when this email came through, I was like, I was loving it. I was like, yeah, why the hell not? I mean, OnlyFans, people make tons of money and you're giving it away for free. As well, if she's like 70, there's no way she's mentioning it to anyone. Like, she may not even look you in the eye, but she'll never bring it up.
And how long was she watching you? She might have been enjoying it. You don't know.
She stopped looking because you caught her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh shit, better fucking.
You should bring her cakes or cookies shaped like vaginas.
That's fucking
God.
Make a joke out of it. Be like, you caught me, but you're sweet Mrs. Smith or whatever her name is, and present it as like a jokey thing. And maybe you guys can bond. And she can tell you when she used to do that in her garden.
That's never gonna happen. That's no. I can only see bad things coming from that. I think if you feel bad, then yeah, you could go around and say sorry, and that it won't happen again or anything like that. But I think we're at a point at the minute, like I said, with like OnlyFans and stuff like that, that it's so more accepted.
Yeah,
doing things like
the
this.
world is sexualized.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, be more careful. Just like the guy we had, a couple episodes the same. Be more careful, but yeah, I mean, everyone does it. Anyone that says they don't do it is a fucking liar.
Like from like the old people that have been in my life, she probably had a moment where she's like, "Oh, that dirty bitch has done this or whatever next door," and then that's all she'll just know you as the dirty bitch, and then that's all that's going to come for it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're gonna. We've had a few people where they've been caught masturbating in public that have written in. They've ended up like viral sensations in their local towns on Facebook. Like you've not gone that far. I think you got off lucky. I think you were right.
She'll end up telling her grandson about it, and he'll be like, "Oh, can I come round for tea tomorrow?" And
Yeah.
Like,
you just see the curtain twitching, just like having a look.
Like, oh, I need to go to the toilet again. He's like walking past the window really slowly. That's what I would be doing. I'd be fucking hell yeah. There was a woman that used to get dressed with the curtains open, and every now and again I would like turn the lights out and just like wait for it. But oh yeah, there it is. But obviously it's fucking miles away, so you can't really see anything. But I'm like, nothing. I know she's naked. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially if it's a neighbor, mate. That'd be fucking amount of times I fantasized about that when I was younger. Just a neighbor knocking on the door when you're home alone.
Yeah.
Dan, can you help me with something?
Some jazz music playing in the background.
But I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, it's like a one-off thing. It's not like you do it all the time. And like I said, if she's 70, I don't think she'll even bring it up, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
and if you want to do it again, do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Get out there, get an umbrella so you don't get fucking sunburnt.
I feel as though that barrier's been broken down now. You can do what you want.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Everyone's friends now.
You have nothing to hide. You have no secrets.
Remember, it's your fucking property. I still stand by that. Like, if you're choosing to look in my window and you see something you don't like, well, then you shouldn't be fucking looking, should you? Keep your eyes on the road. Do it like today. Before I come on here, I had a shower, and then I was just walking into my bedroom, and I was like, the fucking curtain's wide open. Like, you'd be able to see me, my fucking dangling. I don't care. Who gives a fuck? I pay my council tax.
You're giving them a gift. The people looking into your window get a gift.
I was did you see that Netflix documentary, The Most Hated Man on the Internet?
I don't think so.
I heard of it. I didn't watch it. Hunter Moore, right?
Hunter Moore, yeah. And it was horrible. Like, he was obviously a fucking sick bastard. He's like stealing everyone's shit. But there was women on there that are like, they got a picture with me like topless, and I'm horrified, and this stuff. I'm like, if this was like, because obviously it was like 2012 or something, that was it earlier than that. But I'm like, now people are leaving, fucking nurses are leaving, teachers, all these people are leaving to show pictures of their tits because they're making so much money. And this girl's got like one photo of like a boob hanging out, and she's like, I was mortified. I went into the hospital because I couldn't handle it, and I was suicidal. And it's like,
mate, I was telling my mum yesterday, yeah, she was absolutely horrified with me. I was telling her, if I was born a girl, I would be getting absolutely clapped out on fucking OnlyFans. I said I would have bought her house out and everything. I said, you'd have so much money right now because I would be shameless. I would not care. I would.
Yeah, me too. I'd be rotten. My legs would just be like, I'd be firing things out of it, fucking squirting everywhere. I'd be fucking mental, mate. I'd be like doing those things where you get people to deliver food, and I'd just be blowing them. I'd be doing everything. Doesn't matter. Wearing underpants and selling it. What was it? So, someone was selling something weird the other day.
Bathwater?
That's weird.
They do sell bottle, yeah.
Man.
But there was something else. I can't remember
what
it
was. That
makes
me feel sick thinking about that. But someone drinking
if
they're like smelling it or something, that's fucking weird.
People buy anything, don't it? Like bodily fluids, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'd have a full store of hair and spit.
Everything.
Yeah, that'd be my merch store. You come in and people are horrified. The new Ann Summers. Used ear, cotton buds, like everything. Doesn't matter. But that's all the emails, Brian. Did you want to let everyone know about your podcast week coming up, and then Jamie will
Yes.
step us out.
So, go to reviewinghistorypod.com. That's our website. You can find all of our stuff there. My show is called Reviewing History. We're a comedy history podcast. We go through movies and we tell you what's real and fake in them as we make dick and fart jokes. It's a lot of fun. You don't even really need to have seen the movie because we just kind of walk you through the plot as we talk about history and make jokes. The real reason I'm here is bandcamp.com. Black Friday at the stroke of midnight Eastern Standard Time. Our new Christmas podcast is going live. It's called The Christmas Freak Off. It's 4 hours of Christmas podcasting. It's a ton of fun. We have guests. It's a blast. I laughed till I cried recording it. Every time I've edited it, the same thing has happened. It's so funny at times. There's original songs. I think people who listen are really, really going to love it. There's a bundle with last year's Christmas podcast called This Ain't No Whack Christmas. It's only $5 American, both of them. There's a bundle with each of them together. Last year's This Ain't No Whack Christmas, half of all that money forever, even in the bundle, will always go to St. Jude Children's Hospital. This year, the money goes to us because the company bank account needs it. We're the needy charity this year. But I'm going to match whatever my third cut of the album is and send it to St. Jude. So if the album sells $900, I'll be sending $300 of my own money to St. Jude. That's my personal thing. But please go support it. Bandcamp.com, Reviewing History, Black Friday, November 29th, Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. If you buy it, I promise you're going to laugh and have a good time. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I love doing your show.
Love having you on, mate. Love having you on. Again, go over to his Bandcamp, help him out, help his show grow, help our show grow, as you've heard from me in the last few episodes, guys. And of course, any content ideas, questions for the show, and feedback for the show, send it into twomennohope@gmail.com. If you want any details from Brian, you can also ask us via email if you haven't caught it here. And we'll also be posting on the socials when this comes out to give him a little helping hand as well. So I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
See you later, man. Thanks for coming.
If you want to email me, you can email reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. If you want to email me directly, maybe send me a video of you in your garden, just saying, reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com.
You see,
See you later,
you'll get
man.
the video from the 70-year-old. That's what will be brilliant.
I'll take it. I'm not greedy. I'll fucking take it.
On that note, we'll end it there. See you later.
See you later.